Hey guys, how you doing? Today we are going to be checking out this bad boy, the KV1. Come watch the video and learn where its weak spots are, what its strengths are, and how to equip it and how to play it. Okay guys, so first off, let's talk about the weak spots on this tank, okay? Um, what should be known by this is a real good tank for learning weak spots because basically the same spots are going to be on so many other tanks that you're going to play. You got the frontal weak spots, which of course include the flat plate directly below the turret. You're also going to be talking about the lower plate. You're going to be talking about the midsections, the sides, the back, and gun slots. Those are always the same. And what we're talking about here is, first of all, let's start with gun slots. You see right here? See that right there? That's a gun. That's what also, even though there's not a hole through there, that's always going to be a weak spot on tanks. You always want to go for any gun ports or gun slots, whatever you want to call them. Sometimes there's a viewer slot like there was in the Stug, where there's an actual slot that you can see through. And then sometimes it's just for a place where the gun comes through. Either way, that's going to be a weak spot. Your lower plate, lower glacis sometimes it's called. That's this plate down here. That's going to be weak. This is pretty well, this has got a nice slope to it, so it's not as weak. That's why this one, because it's flat, this whole area here is pretty good to shoot at. The other thing that we're going to talk about, of course, is the sides, the hull. All along this side right here, it's like butter. You can go right through, you're going to penetrate, you're probably going to do damage to a module, maybe injure or take out one of the crew members even, or maybe even start a fire if you shoot in the back. It's also really good to shoot here for tracking, so it's very good to shoot there, but that's a weak spot. Your rear end, your ass end's basically butter. Anything higher tier than you is gonna have no problem penetrating that. Hell, even tanks lower tier might be able to do it. So yes, your rear end's gonna be butter. The turret itself, has some weak spots. Of course, the back, the sides, both sides are gonna be that, and even along the cheeks here, you get a little bit of a weaker spot. Now, you're thinking, well, that's a lot of weak spots. Well, I'm telling you where the weak spots are so you know where to shoot. But there's things you can do as the tank driver to reduce the amount of times that you get penetrated. In other words, there you go. What does that mean? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If you're coming around a corner, if you're going down the street, if you're out in the open, and it's not side scraping, just caught out, and you know someone's about to shoot at you, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And at the same time, turn your turret. Okay, wiggle your turret at the same time by moving your mouse as you're wiggling using your keyboard. Okay, the reason being is the more you wiggle or move, the more likely and the higher rate of ricochets it's going to go up. In other words, your better chance that you're going to get ricochets the more movement you're doing. Because imagine the shell's coming in and all of a sudden it hits something it's in the middle of a movement. It's not like you're shooting a wall just dead on, right? So there's a much better chance you're going to ricochet. That's why you see guys also, they do the forward backwards thing, and they shake their tanks like this when they don't want you to shoot their cupola. Okay? There's the shake forward backwards, and there's the wiggle it, 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 like that. Two different ways of doing it. Okay? The other thing is the guns. Guns on this tank are just freaking phenomenal, man. I mean, they're literally crazy. That's one of the reasons why this tank is so good, because you got this great generous selection of guns. You got the 57 millimeter, as you see right over there, that I got. Okay, so it's an accurate gun, fast shooting, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, you got the 122 howitzer, and then in between them, you got the 85 millimeter. The howitzer, of course, is your do some, the derp gun. Whereas your 85 is more of like, kind of like a in between. Now, if you're wondering why would you use that gun that I got right up there, well, it's kind of cool, man. Actually, it's kind of fun. I use it to basically mess with the heads of the enemy. If I imagine I'm in town and a tank pops out and boom, because remember this thing right up here, it shoots real fast. Its rate of fire is gun loading is 2.39, so 25 shots a minute. If you see a tank come out, you can track them and then damage, track, track. And this poor guy will be stuck there because you're so fast. And it's really funny. Sometimes they'll get a shot off at you and you track them and then move behind cover, but you can still shoot them. And you can lay waste to these guys, and they're not expecting. They're like, "What the heck? It doesn't have the derp." They're always expecting you to play the derp gun with this. That's what the meta is. Here's a little tip, by the way, for tracking around corners like that. The first shot, the first two shots, do it at the tracks. Okay, track, damage, and then from then on, track, damage, track, damage, track, damage. The reason why I do two tracks up front, okay, is because most players, as soon as they get tracked, the first thing they do, if the repair kit's ready, they go bam, and they hit their repair kit, whatever hotkey they have for it. And they hit that repair kit and they start backing up. So if you go track, there's a chance that you're going to get them right after they hit the repair kit, and then they're screwed. So track, damage, track, damage, track, damage, and so on and so on and so on. So the guns are really good. The other thing about this is the armor. I just showed you where all the weak spots are, but the reality is that this tank has really good armor. Yes, you can pen it. Sometimes with AP, sometimes with APCR, depending on how good of a shot you are, how good your crew skills are, what tier the tank is. Here's the reality, guys. If you angle this tank and do the wiggle when caught out and side scrape, you can live a long time. This tank absorbs a lot of damage. You'll get a lot of ricks on it, and also the tracks will absorb. It's great for side scraping. Beautiful tank for learning how to side scrape on. And also, just in general, if you angle, you're going to bounce a lot of shots. So don't think just because I told you where the weak spots are that this is a weak tank. It's not. It's a great tank. I'm just letting you know up front where those weak spots are, because you need to be aware of it so that you can make it so that, they don't get too abused. Minimize your damage through knowledge. How's that? So anyways, yeah, it's got great armor all the way around. It's got a great selection of guns. It does very well for side scraping. It's got great mobility. Its view range is pretty good. Its damage is good. Its penetration is good. It's what you call a jack of all trades tank. It's good in everything. Now, quickly, what equipment should you use? Well, don't look at what I got over here, okay? I got the spall liner, the modified config, and improved hardening. I do that because of my eye, okay? Everyone that watches my streams knows. My eyes have gone in the last 3 years, okay? And I admit I am not a good player for when it comes to battling in brawls anymore. All the flaring and stuff affects my eyes. It makes it hard for me to do well. So what I try to do is I try to extend my time in the game by simply loading up with the spall iron, the improved hardening, and everything. Because I know that I'm going to, I need all the help I can get. I don't need to increase my rate of fire. Most of the time when I play heavies anyways, I'm the pincushion. I'm the guy who's going, hey, shoot me, so my other guys can kill you, that kind of thing. So what I would recommend, and I always tell people on my streams, don't use this equipment. This is for me. But what I would recommend are vents, gun rammer, and then for the third slot, it's really player's choice, really. You could put gun lane drive in if you don't like the aim times, because the aim times are pretty slow on all the guns. You could also put a turbo on there. You could put that bleep on anything. It's fun, it makes your tanks faster. Turbos are good. Maybe you want the improved traverse speed, for turning faster. I don't know. Or maybe you want to put improved hardening on, or a modified config. Modified config is nice because, you know, it stops you from getting ammo racked. It stops you from getting fires. And it also speeds up the process of repairs. So that's actually a pretty good one to get. But anyways, those are for you to choose. The 1 and 2, though, I would always go vents and rammer. Definitely all day long, hands down, and all that, yada, yada, yada. And then as for crew skills are the same with all heavies and all mediums. Start off with repairs, get it to like 120%, and then for the commander, put on 6 Sense, and for all the rest, pick and choose what you want. You want view range, you want situational awareness, you want the low ground resistance on this one so that you're not getting bogged down. Basically, in a heavy and a medium, you want to make sure that you're mobile, that you're not getting tracked, you're not getting stalled in one position, because that's where Artie can help the enemy by taking you out. So you want to go with crew skills that are going to help that. Now, one thing that's come up recently is a debate in the forums about, do you use repairs up to 120, and then for the cheap, like 20,000 credits, switch over and reset to whatever you want, whether it be Brothers in Arms first or situational awareness. And the argument is that you should use Brother in Arms all the way up right away, so that you save your XP when you get to 100 and do the reset. Well, here's the thing, guys. I would definitely say use the repairs all the way up and then do the reset. Why? Because the amount of XP you're going to lose from 100 to 120 on the first skill is like maybe 2 or 3 wins. Maybe. Probably more like 1 or 2 wins. It doesn't take much getting the first skill. And getting it from 10 to 20, 110 to 120 is not going to take much. Let's say 3 wins. It's that for the benefit of having repairs all the way up. I personally don't do Brothers in Arms first on these anyways, but that's your choice of how you want to do it. Brothers in Arms for me is always a secondary thing because it doesn't work unless everyone has it. And there's no way I'm not putting 6 Sense on my commander first. There's no way I'm not going to do that. Every tank I'm going to put I'm going to put 6 Sense on first. And then there's other ones that you can do for the rest of the team there. If you want, you could throw repairs on everyone else and then work another perk that you get a benefit of as you go up, and then switch that to Brothers in Arms when at 110. That's your choice. But anyways, yeah, you just want to go with repairs all the way up and get your 6 Sense, situational awareness, recon, traverse, snapshot, ground resist, all those typical kind of things. And that you can find in the How to Play a Heavy Tank. That will go over all the crew skills. Okay, so that's about it, guys. We explained why we like it. We explained the weaknesses. We explained the strengths. And we explained about the equipment to put on it. And we touched a little bit on the crew skills. So I hope you're having a great day, a great week, playing this awesome game. If you have any questions, just ask. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the like. Just smash that like button, man. It really helps get this video into rotation. Also, if you want to know when my videos come up, subscribe and set up your notifications, and then you'll know every time I bring a video out. Finally, if you want to ask me a question and get the answer right away, come over when I'm streaming on Twitch at Mr.BeetleBum TV and ask a question. That's why we're there. We stream simply to help other players improve. If I can help you, man, that makes my day. So come on over and ask a question. Hope you're having a great week, and I hope you're enjoying the game, man. Until the next time, I'm Mr. BeetleBum. I'm out.